India is far more open than people believe it to be. So if that is the construct within which we are operating, then one shouldn't want to give consumption a boost in the hope that that'll eventually push investment, because if it's an export-driven thing, then I don't know, maybe one should just worry about trying to keep the cost of labor, cost of land and other inputs down to try and be more competitive on the export front.
Look, I mean, there are various things that the Indian government can do, and as I pointed out earlier, that India really needs to decide whether or not it is a closed economy or it's an open economy. Because if India actually continues to believe, and wrongly so, that it's India closed economy, India's policy making and the policy choices that India will make will be determined or driven by that belief. And in a world in which India is not as closed as one imagines it to be, the policy choices will most likely not work very well. So I think there is a need for India to sit back and say, look, this is the way in which India actually grew. Globalization had a very, very large impact on India's growth throughout the 2000s, when India grew very, very strongly, and the decline and the slowdown that took place. And it is now time for India, like any other emerging market countries, to start looking for more domestic global drivers. Consumption is an important part of it, but the solution to that problem is much more structural. It isn't that you just throw a little bit of income support to farmers or a little bit of income support to households and you expect that to be a major boost or provide a sustainable boost to growth. There has to be a strategic long-term view of what reforms and what regulatory changes, along with fiscal policy. I'm not saying that fiscal policy doesn't play a role in it, but fiscal policy through higher deficit, that doesn't play a role in it. Fiscal policy through expenditure switching plays a very big role in trying to look for new drivers of growth. Unfortunately, that's not where the discussion is at this point in time.